Hello, hello. This is Kelly Irvin, and I am here with RJ Meyerhofer from Guaranteed Rate. And we are going to talk about something that realtors can sometimes get tricked up on, and it is a FHA loan for flips. Did you know that what the restrictions are for those loans to when you write a contract? What the regulations that a FHA has with homes that are considered flips? Well, RJ does. We'll go ask him about it.
Hey, absolutely, and I appreciate that. That's a great question. I work with a lot of agents, and I think where they really get tripped up, FHA has a 90-day flip rule, and this again just pertains to FHA. It does not pertain to conventional VA or any other loan type. But with FHA, your buyer cannot go under contract for that home until the seller has owned the property for at least 90 days. And so a good rule of thumb is you want to wait until that 91st day after the seller has went on deed to write your contract. I think where agents get hung up on it is they think that as long as you
don't close
within
before
that,
yeah.
But you can't even write a contract within that 91 day. Otherwise, it's considered an FHA flip, and it's not eligible for FHA financing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you shared that with us because
Absolutely.
now we know, and that's something that if an investor is going to purchase a home, that's something that they need to know on their exit strategy.
Yes.
Because if you got, especially if it's like a starter home, you want to appeal to the FHA.
There's a high likelihood that you might have an FHA buyer, so you have to be really careful with that and just make sure you're within those timelines.
All right, let's dig a little bit deeper for somebody that may not know. Even just basic FHA, the benefits of an FHA. Let's talk about it to some buyers that aren't familiar, some new real estate agents that have learned so much that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
It's a great product. I've been doing FHA for 30 years, so it's a great government backed product. A few things about it I think are really great is it only requires a minimum down payment of like 3.5%. FHA is a little more flexible with lower credit scores, for example, and it's also more flexible with higher debt to income ratios. So somebody may not fit into a conventional loan guideline, but FHA, I'd usually just say is a little more liberal, and it's easier, I think, for the buyer to get into that product. It's also more forgiving if you've had like a past bankruptcy foreclosure. Like the timeline is a lot shorter than it would be for conventional. So there's tons of pluses to an FHA loan.
All right, well, if we're going to talk about the pluses, what are some of the negatives that scare people away from seller for scared that they're intimidated to accept an FHA loan?
Yeah,
Let's
I
talk
run into
about
that all the time. I think there's this perception that on the seller and really the realtor side too. I think that it is that perception that the appraiser is going to really beat up the appraisal and make the seller do all this additional work that they normally wouldn't have to do. So I would say, if it's an older home, the only things you have to really watch out for with an FHA appraisal would be peeling paint, if it's an older home, and really just a health or safety issue, and let's rotten wood or a missing handrail or something like that. But if you don't have those things, then FHA is perfectly fine. I mean, I would say 30% of the business I do is FHA or VA or it's government-backed stuff, and I very rarely have an appraisal issue.
And the thing is too is that's where your realtor works with you. If they pull a good comp and do a good opinion on that value of that home, then you should be good.
Absolutely.
Now, you can't guarantee it, of course, but
Hey,
you
nothing-
can get a good idea. The numbers don't lie.
Absolutely.
The data's there.
For sure, yeah, nothing's guaranteed in this
Right.
business, but the more you know, I think the better off you'll be in terms of if you have a property that's gonna kind of be something that an FHA buyer is going to go for. I just think as long as you know the facts, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, absolutely. So first thing is you want to get your pre-approval. You want to talk to your lender after you talk to your realtor.
Absolutely.
So get a good realtor that knows some of these ins and outs. If they don't know, make sure that they have good resources that do know the ins and outs.
Hey, we'll take good care of them.
That's it. Merry Christmas, everyone. If you got any questions, you can call myself, Kelly Irvin, with the Premier Group of eXp Realty, or RJ Meyerhofer at Guaranteed Rate.
Awesome. Happy holidays.
Bye.